I want to come to Savdhaan India now.
Okay.
How does India perceive crime?
Yeah.
How does India cover, unravel crime as a genre?
Hmm.
Genre तो मैं मतलब content perspective से बोल रहा हूँ, but actual crime is happening, right?
Correct.
So how does India perceive crime as a how do I term it? But how does India perceive crime, and how is it covered in India?
How is it covered in India?
Is it primarily Savdhaan India, and what are they doing wrong?
So
Apart from everything.
No, I wouldn't say that.
These are jokes. These are
I
jokes.
know the producer and all their friends, but I would say how India perceives. So how people perceive crime first. Crime across the world appeals to something innately in humans. There is something, whether it is voyeurism, तो किसी और का दुर्घटना देखना विदाउट एक्सपीरियंसिंग इट. जैसे ग्लैडिएटर्स क्यों पॉपुलर थे, क्यों मतलब आप कोलोसियम में होना चाहते हो टू सी टू पीपल फाइट ईच अदर टू डेथ. वो क्या, वो वॉयरिज्म है, वो वेयर डज दैट कम फ्रॉम. आई एम नॉट अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट, आई डोंट नो, बट merely having been in this space, I seldom, like I myself try to understand how this desire stems from, but this desire exists. How it does, एक वो psychologist के लिए छोड़ दो, it does exist. Crime, something inherently appealing about it. तो 1998 में जो पहला इंसान था जिसने serialized manner में crime को popularize किया, वो सुहेब इलियासी. Now we can talk about his story later. He started a show called India's Most Wanted. 2 years later became India's Most Wanted, accused of the murder of his own wife. So we can get into this story. It's one of my most favorite stories and fascinating story of that. But 1998 में इंडिया में क्राइम सीरियल और शो शुरू हुए सुहेब इलियासी के शो के साथ. And ever since we've had the crime patrols and the Savdhaan Indias. I'm talking true crime, not fictionalized like CID or something.
Right.
Something. So I think those crime patrol and Savdhaan India types served as a minimum viable product, क्योंकि उन्होंने देखा crime को low production में recreate करो. These shows have gone on for 300, 400 episodes, mint money for these platforms. They mint money क्योंकि they get eyeballs because of how the Indian viewer consumes crime. इंडिया में एक वियर्ड चीज़ विद क्राइम शोज़ है, आपने अपने घर में नोटिस किया होगा, वेर योर मॉम विल प्ले इट एंड घर के दूसरे काम करे जाएंगे. इट इज़ लाइक द वाइट नॉइज टू इंडियन हाउस होल्ड्स. क्राइम पेट्रोल एंड सावधान इंडिया विल प्ले as the background music of your house, which is so weird, but there is something peaceful about it, something peaceful about that guy coming on the screen telling you about yahan 4 murder kaise hue. I don't understand the psychology of it fully, but that's how there's a lot of passive consumption of crime in India when it comes to Savdhaan India and all. But because of these shows, ek jo problem हो गया है crime का in how it's perceived is the negative connotation that comes with it. Now, of course, it's a murder. There's going to be negative connotation, but you can cover a negative topic in a way that the connotation is not negative. So I'll give you an example of, say, a Don't Fuck with Cats or a Jeffrey Dahmer का जो Netflix ने show बनाया. I don't know if you've seen either of them. Gory true crime case, very gory. But the way it was covered, man, the treatment of the show was so impeccable in terms of the storytelling that nobody would go from the show and be like, "Ye kya main murder dekh raha hu?" You'd be like, "Fuck, I've just seen a masterpiece, an artful masterpiece, the topic of which was crime." Just like war movies, right? Now, a cheaply made war movie could feel like propaganda, correct? But if you watch The Pianist or if you see Saving Private Ryan, like, that's art. So I think any topic, if treated well and if packaged well and if told well, can be viewed as art. And what I'm sensing in India right now is, at least we at Desi Crime are trying to move it from, cheap and unethical of, just getting clicks from people's deaths, because it is a ethically dubious space to work in. You're getting clicks from a murder at the end of the day. How do we make that go from commercial to done in an artistic and well manner, creatively well done, where it is bringing some shedding light on the victim's case and doing justice to the whole story.